And what is going on, people? And welcome back to Total Hotspurs. And sorry for the delay, guys. Got to adjust my mic. Had a few issues with the stream itself, but have it all resolved and ready to go. Before I get the team announcements out, I know the game's meant to kick off in a couple of minutes. Looks like it's pissing down there. I don't know if we're going to be playing, to be honest. The pitch is flooded. They're trying to get the lines done. You can see the water pools on the pitch at the moment. But they do say in Thailand it can rain and it can stop raining within a moment. What's the point? He has been here waiting because lateness is greatness, as they always say. How are you, bro? What's the point? Eugen, was meant to have Eugen on today, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be streaming. So I didn't want to, give him the go-ahead to jump on, and then he was waiting around. So big up yourself, Eugene. Uncle Merv, how are you, brother? I hope you can jump on later on tonight if the game goes ahead. And what's the point? The lateness was because Skippy got out. Now it's a bit of an issue with the stream itself, but got it resolved. And what's the point? The game's going to get called off. I mean, if it gets called off, maybe an early night for me. Never know. Dean, how are you, brother? Appreciate you joining on. Just letting you know, guys, if you're in Australia and you want to watch the game, it is on Paramount Plus. Same with our Lions City game. So if you have Paramount Plus, go over there and watch it. Spurs play, or if you want to watch it for free, you have to register on Leicester City's website, and you can watch the game for free there because Tottenham seem to want to charge everybody for everything. I will get the team out. Don't know if it looks like the game's called off, to be honest. A lot of people are leaving, but we'll sit here and have a chat. That is the team. Starting off with Vicario, Pedro Porro is going as the right back, starting with Romero and Davies in the middle. Hopefully Romero has a better game because he was poor next to Tanganga against West Ham. And then Udogie, who I'm excited to see. Excited to start with the likes of Kane, Son and Kulu on that left-back role. Højbjerg, Madison and Basuma at a midfield three. I think that's going to be the standard. And Kulu, Kane and Sonny Boy is he comes back from a rest from the first game, and it will be our main front three. Austin gets dropped off the subs, so it's Whiteman, Royal, Regulon, Dyer comes back into the side. Tanganga, Skip, who I think he comes into the side. Lo Celso, Sarr, Perisic, Solomon, and Richarlison. So there's no Ndombele, there's no Dane Scarlett, there's no Divine. What's the point? I do not watch. I don't have a VPN, but I don't need to because I've got Paramount Plus. That's where I'm watching it. So it's a bit unfortunate. Merv says, could this be the main team in a new season? I think replace Davies with a centre-back and then maybe Højbjerg with Bentancur, and that'll probably be the starting team, if I'm honest. MVR, brother, welcome. Once again, you're always here. I am watching the game at home, but I'm watching it on Paramount Plus. But I'm pretty sure the game might be called off because of the weather. We'll get an update soon. I'll let you know. But first of all, guys, let me know how you feel about the starting team. Do you think this is the team we're going to be playing on the first day of the season? By the way, we're going as a club, especially with the centre back, stuff. I think we are probably going to start with Dyer in the middle instead of Davies, but there's still discussions as released by Ali Gold. Discussions still ongoing on whether or not it goes ahead. I don't know if it will, if I'm quite honest, because it looks like it is a swimming pool out there. MVR, Vicario was fairly average. Yeah, I agree. I think he could have done decent, better on the second save, but the defense was quite poor, so there's not much he can do. But for me, I think Vicario was average, but it is his first game against West Ham. I know it's in Perth, but and it was against half their youth academy. But I think we just got to give the guy a chance. As much as I don't think he was the main guy, I think as fans we have to give everyone a chance, right? We seem to be giving Dyer and Ndombele a chance, so a newbie like Vicario should be getting the games he needs, and if not, then Forster can. Once he comes back from injury, Forster can be the guy that can take over. What's the point? Yeah, the pitch looks horrible, but I mean, what's a bit of water? It's pre-season. Let the boys kick the ball around a bit. Thailand's notorious for wet season this time of the year anyway, so it was poor scheduling. But the stadium has no top on it. It is a quite open stadium with a running track around it if no one's watching. So look, I'd say play. I've played footy on worse pitches when I was playing rugby league, I should say, back when I was in my teens. So if they can't play on that, then I don't know what's going on. And like MVI says, guys, if you are joining us new or if you are returning, please like and subscribe to the channel. We are a small channel. We do this for fun, and appreciate all the support that you guys can give us. And there you go. Once again, the guy's promoting it. He says it again. What's the point? Says Ali Gold looks like a hamster. Every time I see him, I feel like handing him a carrot. I mean, Ali Gold is in and around the Tottenham dressing room all the time. But yeah, he does look a bit funny, a bit funky. I love sometimes watching his YouTube channels because he makes me laugh with some of the stuff he comes out with. But they're doing an inspection and the rain's died down, so the game might actually go on ahead. And yeah, I mean, this right here, Dean, we appreciate it, but I know you're everyone's memory United over to Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, they played penalties too and lost that, so they lost the penalties shootout and they lost the full game. Pretty poor by Arsenal, considering they've just bought three big. And the thing is, they played a first team. I'm pretty sure United played a semi strong team. Wasn't too strong, but it's nice to see. No matter how much money Arsenal spend, they're probably not going to win the Premier League this year. And I'm calling it now. I think it's going to be once United get on their roll. Liverpool seem to be getting strong. Chelsea have already won 2 of their preseason games, and we all know what Poch can do with a team, even if it's not the strongest team in the league. And then City, City are going to be another force to be reckoned with this season. So the rain looks like it has. No, it looks like it's pissing down still, guys. I don't know if this game's going to go on, but let me know, guys, who you think is going to be in the starting team for the first game of the season, because I'm pretty sure about 70% of the squad that's starting is going to be on the team, unless Kane decides to leave. But for me, I think maybe depending on how Reggie goes, I think he might start as the senior left back. But I think the Doji showed way more than he did in the last game. Davies hopefully will replace, and probably going to be a Porro for me. Will probably start over Royal, depending on how the system goes. Yeah, Jackson played really well, and he wasn't that expensive either. I don't know why we didn't even look at going for him. Yeah, and Uncle Mo says they had like a shootout for soccer stars, I should say, because it's American. Football stars that they do every year. I think they do it. You know what Americans are like? They always pull off these like combines and stuff where they do special trick shots halfway through the year. And Havertz was the only player to score no points. So many American players scored more points than him. So, Audio, morning, bruv. How are you? Welcome back. Hope you're well. Let's hope this game can kick off anytime soon, because if not, then I think we can all go on and enjoy the rest of our days or nights for me. And what's the point has said, Dyer and Sanchez at centre back for the first game of the season. And I will shoot myself if that's the case. But I don't think it will. I think it will be Romero, let's be honest. Romero and probably a new centre back. I think we will get a new centre back. There is talks that we have open talks with another defender, but they wouldn't release the name. So, but we all know how that goes along. We were apparently getting Van der Ven and Taps over 3 weeks ago. So, I don't know what's going on. But I'm just updating on Twitter, guys, to try to find out what is going on with the pitch, because I can't hear anything. So the penalty area has been repainted, so it looks like they might be going ahead. I think they're just trying to reapply the paint on the pitch to start the game. I want to hear predictions, guys. Everyone in the chat, let me know about your predictions of who you think will score today and what the score is. Merv says game on. I don't know if you know. Maybe the game is starting. Let's have a look. Right now, I've got no idea, guys, what's going on. I can't hear anything. Paramount Plus doesn't give you any order, any commentary unless it's in the game. Audio's going for a 5-2 win. I mean, we should beat them. They've lost their best player. We've taken them. Does anybody know if Harry Winks will start? I want to actually have a look. Harry Winks starting? Yep, Harry Winks is starting. So I'll quickly read out their team. They're playing Hermansen in goal with Pereira, Feist, Doyle, and Castagna as the back four. Dewsbury Hall and Winksy are holding the midfield with I think that's Marzel, Madavadua, I don't even know how to say that, Mikatir and Prate in the midfield or back three behind Iheanacho. Well, they got on the bench. You got Wolford and Diddy on the bench, Salmer, Dakar, Salter, Harry Salter is an Aussie, Albrighton, James Justin, the usual Chowdhury. Our bench consists of the whole bench. I didn't say that. So we got Reguilon, Skip, Sanchez, Richarlison, Gooseberry Hall. Yeah, Gooseberry Hall, mate. Dewsbury Hall. Uncle Merv goes for 2-1. Spurs, with the weather where it is, that would be a big scoring game. Maybe. You never know. They might be able to drain the pitch, but I don't know how they are in Thailand. Dean has Pochettino looking like he'll have a good, some good at Chelsea. I mean, Poch is a good manager, I think. I just don't know if he's that top tier manager that people would tout him to be. But he is a good manager. We know ourselves here at Tottenham, so I don't think we can undeny that. MBR's got 4-1 wins. That's obviously to Tottenham because he is a Tottenham fan. So I'm going to go with my prediction. I think it's going to be like a 3-1. I think Kane and Sonny will get on, and then maybe I'm going to look at maybe the Celso again because he looked fairly good in the last game, but obviously you can't judge a player off 45 minutes. Like I said, what's the point? Dewsbury Hall. He's a good little player, Dewsbury Hall, though. Not the greatest, but he provides a bit of flair. I think Leicester have got a decent player there. I think Leicester would be decent in the championship. They've got a decent team. And I don't know how Iheanacho is staying there because he was fairly good at City. But, when you get sold by City, it means there's a reason for it. Dean reckons 2-1 as well, the same as Merv. He doesn't reckon it'll be a high-scoring game. That's a prediction that Merv did as well. Sorry, guys, just checking something. I don't know if the game's going ahead, but it looks like it is. A lot of the fans are starting to take their places, and I think they're just slowly draining the pitch. The pitch doesn't do that. Yeah, guys. Everyone been hearing about Harry Kane's missus being in Germany. Does anybody believe those rumours? It's quite funny how the only people that are saying this kind of stuff is the guys from Germany. There is a few reputable papers saying this stuff, but how do you guys feel about the news that Harry Kane's missus was in Munich looking at houses, considering that she's heavily pregnant and having to look after his kids whilst he's overseas on pre-season tour? Let me know what you think. Do you think they're fake rumors? Do you think they're real? Do you think he's going to leave? Because that's the question every Tottenham fan at the moment is talking about is will Harry Kane leave? Will Harry Kane come? Just let me know. You're here, guys. Message in the group chat. update. Any updates? Let's have a look. I'm just relying on Ali Gold because Ali Gold is there at the moment. So let's hope we can update what's happening. There's no update so far. It looks like the game is going to go ahead by the looks what's going on. Ali Gold is promoted, so yeah. RL Blue, no, I won't be. Not allowed. I don't. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed actually. Paramount Plus probably won't. It's a streaming service. Even if I try and stream it, it won't. It'll either copyright me and close the stream down, or it will block the stream from being shared onto the actual YouTube channel. So this is a live watch along. We watch the game and we let you guys know how we feel and what's going on while you guys are watching it at home. That's how these work. Not for everyone, but it's the best that we can do considering. But if you are looking, if you have Paramount Plus, that it is on Paramount Plus. If you can get a VPN, you can VPN yourself to the UK and log and sign in and register under the Leicester City website, and that'll give you free access to the actual game. It hasn't started because it's been pissing down rain. The pretty much it pissed down in Thailand and Bangkok, and they basically have tried to deflood the pitch. They're trying to redo the lines because it rained that heavy, and that's why there's no players out. As what's the point said? I don't. You know what? What's the point? I don't think they're going to cancel it. I just think they're just going to wait. There's too many people there, and the thing is, it's good for Thailand to have these. Yeah, I do think the refs are inspecting the pitch now. I think it's a little discussion. Personally, for me, if you're not going to play in the next 5 minutes, like what's the point says, you give up. But I mean, it's a bit of water, guys. We've seen some games in the snow, some old school games where they were covered in 3 foot of mud. But yeah, it's not much to really do when there's no game going on, guys. Is anybody going to come up in the chat? If you're in the chat, let me know who you think is going to stand out today. Like, I know it's a preseason game. I know it's a game that doesn't really matter for anything, but this is, this is a kind of indication of what might be happening in the season with our players. So, Lascelles had a decent game for me last game. So did Doji and Solomon. I'm excited to see the Solomon and Lascelles in the second half. Do you think that Doji and Son on that left-hand side are going to create something magical? Because we all know that Perisic started with Son last year, holding that width. But Doji did make a lot of inside runs when Perisic was playing, as Perisic went out wider. So he makes the underlap, not the overlap. And that's just, I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping it goes. They are cleaning the line still. There's no information getting put out by the club itself, which is quite poor. I think that they should actually give the fans notification of what's happening. But it's still relying on just early gold, really. There's no other indication of what's actually happening. So apparently the pitch has definitely cleared a lot. So the drainage of the pitch is working. I think they're probably going to kick off at 8:30 if I'm not wrong. The pitch does not look waterlogged anymore, apart from a couple of the sidelines, and the lines are quite faint. What's the point is on the Leicester link. He says on the Leicester link, the camera is so far from the pitch. I hope that's not an angle. I mean, I've got a wide shot from Paramount Plus, but I'm sure they'll zoom in once the game starts. It usually happens like that. But we'll see what happens. it's, yeah, there's no shelter for the players either, so they're going to be sitting in the pissing down rain. I mean, we've got to get a game out because if we don't play in Bangkok, that's one less. The thing is, guys, we've only got 5 preseason games, and we started later than everybody else. We waited until all our international players came back before we started our tour, and we started our tour halfway across the world, which is dumb. If we lose this, we usually have 6 to 7. We have a couple of in-house games, closed door games, and we have about 4 or 5. Usually one roughly in a little competition. And now, if we lose this game, we're only going to have 4. Um, honestly, it needs to go ahead. It needs to go ahead, and we need all the pressure we can get because with Edge's system, we need to see what can work and what can't work. Merv has openly said, "What's everyone's thoughts on where Spurs will finish this season?" And if it's me, I'm looking at 7th. I think that's a realistic position because there's a lot of teams in the Prem that are boosting their numbers. And we already spoke about Chelsea, City, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, obviously. That's 5. And then I personally think Villa have done really well, and Newcastle. That is 7 teams around us that have got a good squad. And I feel like we need to really get these centre backs in. If we don't, we're going to fall behind. Our attack is probably one of the best in the league. When they're on song, when Son and Kane, Madison, and Kulu are on fire, I think teams will be too scared to go at us. However, they'll be too scared to push a defence out too far. However, they'll just drop deep like we usually do. They'll play the ball through the midfield out to their wingers, and their wingers and attackers will literally tear our defence apart because we don't have anyone to pair Romero, and if Romero's not in that line and he shoots out like he usually does, it's going to be poor. We're going to get ripped apart. And with the new goalkeeper in Vicario, we don't know what he can do yet. People can rag on him for last game, but the defensive errors were all 3 goals were because defenders didn't do the right thing. And we won't have Troy Parrott. It'll probably be Richarlison and Dane Scarlett. Troy Parrott will probably get sold, but for me, that's not a good forward. That's not 2 strikers that we need. We can't be starting Richarlison and then Scarlett as a backup to try and compete in the Premier League. Everyone's ifs and buts. I'm on 2 sides of that same thing, and I'm sick of talking about it. Let's be honest. That's all we're talking about as Tottenham fans is Kane. I mean, I know he's a great player. I know he's Tottenham through and through. But okay, so we've just released from Tottenham Hotspur. There is a delay due to a waterlogged pitch. There will be a review at 5:25 p.m. local time. So in 5 minutes' time, we'll know if they're going to go ahead or if they're going to cancel. So I appreciate everyone that's here. If you haven't liked the stream already, please do. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. But if you don't, that's all good, guys. It's free anyway. Doesn't affect us either. But Brad Merv has come out and said, I'm hoping for a top 4, but if Kane leaves, it'll be tough, and I think we'll scrape into top 5, 6. That's a good call. I honestly think 7th is probably the most realistic. 7th or 6th. I don't think we're going to get top 5. I think there is 5 or 6 teams better than us this year in terms of personnel and in terms of manager. But that's nothing on Ange. I want Ange to succeed. I think Ange is going to succeed. So you're like, while we wait, all right, bro, make sure you let us know how City are going. They are live on Paramount Plus as well. So if you want to jump over there and watch them, by all means. What's the point says, I think they'll have to get Vicario to a big loss for Premier League games because he's going to need all the help he gets. Look, like I said, against West Ham, the second goal especially, it was pretty much straight at him. And I know it was a hit. It was hit hard. Or it was a ball coming in with pace, but I feel like he should have saved that. I really do should have saved that. And it didn't start well for him, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not too worried because if Vicario is not performing. I think Forster will come in and do a job. He did a job last season. I know he's injured at the moment, but He's a top professional, and I think he's a decent goalkeeper. And if Vicario isn't performing, Ange will drop him for Forster. And if Forster has better defenders in front of him, the only shots he really can't save is ones that are close to near post when they're down hard and low, purely because he takes a while to get down low. But other than that, he's a decent goalkeeper, and I think he was one of our better players at the back end of the season. So I won't really complain if Vicario doesn't perform. Yeah, I mean, there's a few guys out there. They are trying to fix some of them. Personally, for me, if you're going to spend this much time trying to fix it, you might as well just play the game. No point cancelling it if you're going to be doing this. And Murphy's Parrot will be injury prone. Those who try to start and just have to find the net a lot more. It can go Richard starting. But personally, I don't know about you guys, but the way if Solomon performs the way he did last week, or the other day, I should say, against West Ham, and I think there could be a little edge type player there, then I wouldn't mind playing Sonny up front, because every time Kane's been injured or dropped or can't play and Sonny's played up top, he's played well. So, and Brad says pre-season is for this reason, though, so Ange can see where his players are at, and then he can work and train to fix the issues. I mean, if Ange can get Porro defending, we have a player there. If Ange can get the likes of Kulu getting in, then maybe we can. You might be very shifty when you turn your voice cuts out. Oh, mate, maybe it's my connection. I'll try and reset it. Let me know if that's better. I don't know why it keeps cutting in and out. Fix my camera up too. Make sure it's all good. Yeah, look, NBL, I do think that that it's highly unlikely that we're going to get Tapsoba or Van de Ven now. I think because we are linked with players in the Premier League or players that I'll go to, that this is probably not going to happen. I don't know why it's taking so long to sign both of these guys, Tapsoba and Van de Ven. I don't know. I hate how the YouTube doesn't show this, but a parrot and a pigeon for backup strikers. Yeah, I know. I mean, who wants to play, two birds up front? I used to think Parrott was going to be the Harry Kane regen because he was playing for Ireland at such a young age, playing fairly well, was highly rated by the coaches, got loaned out to try and do like a Harry Kane loan out, and then, just injury prone and fell off the face of the earth, really. It is 25 past 8. We've been waiting 25 minutes. I don't know if we're going ahead. And the pitch. Might go ahead, guys. I can't see anything so far that's saying it's going ahead. What's the point? Has said surely there's a free transfer out there for CBs. I thought it was supposed to be using database system. I mean, you're right. What did Levy say when we lost at Newcastle, that he's going to try and adopt the Brighton system, and Brighton seem to find players for dirt cheap. Caicedo, Basuma, Leandro Trossard. They found Basuma. The youngster and Ferguson's a really good player. Morpay, even though Morpay isn't the top echelon, he's a fucking decent player. He'd be a good backup for our team. Kukurea, who obviously didn't hit. I think he'll cook this season with Chelsea, unless he gets sold. Like, there's players out there. There's plenty of players out there. We could have pushed to go and get Ruben Neves. I know it's in the centre mid, but he's gone. Indica went for free to Roma. I think we could have got him. Who we were looking at, Evan Indica. But Merv says, I think we should push Porro further up the field. His defending is shocking. It's too easy, but he's good on the ball and cross a decent baller. And I'm in agreement. I feel like Kulu doesn't provide the good crosses unless he cuts in on his left, whereas Porro can push the left back out and whip a ball in, and it will curl away from the goalkeeper, whereas Kulu tends to curl into the goalkeeper, which helps. And Porro seems to have a bit more pace on his crosses. He is a decent crosser, so that could be a plan that Ange puts forward, but we haven't seen the likes of Spence or anything yet. So I think he'll play right back. What's the point? Says if Daniel wants to be cheap, then getting a couple of free centre backs. I mean, you're right. If he wants to be that cheap, then he needs to just to go and look at the free market. There's plenty of people out there. There's plenty of people that we could have gotten on. I think Skriniar was a free agent, and I know he had to sign a free contract with PSG, but we could have done that in January and got him on a free contract. First thing, that would have been a perfect centre back for Conte. Mo said it started raining again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening. They haven't even announced anything, so the fans are still in the stadium. They haven't cancelled it. It's Daniel's idea of database system is cheap players and low wages, but been doing that for 23 years. Yes, we have. I don't think there's Daniel Levy's idea is just money. It's just what can we get for the value of what we spend. That's why like a player like a Doji is perfect for him. You buy low, a Doji's going to be a good player. And all of a sudden, he plays really, really well for us, ends up selling for 40 mil. Same with this young 18-year-old centre back that we're going for that we don't want to pay 5 mil for. He comes in 5 mil, and then in 3 years' time, 4 years' time, he's English as well. English tax jumps in, sells him for 25 mil. Oh, he's made a profit. Yeah. Uncle Mer says I seen on Insta earlier that we were linked with Mbappe, and I couldn't help myself but laugh. And these rumours that we're going to switch Harry Kane for Mbappe is ridiculous. One, Kane doesn't want to go there, and two, Mbappe doesn't want to come here. So I think it's ridiculous that anybody in their right mind is broadcasting that rumor, because I just don't ever think it's ever going to happen. So basically, the pitch inspection taking place. They're unhappy with one puddle on the edge of one of the penalty areas, which is now being cleared. Ange Postecoglou is on the pitch, and they feel like where they all are at the moment is there's a big puddle on the edge of the 18-yard box on one side of the pitch, and it looks like they're worried that it's going to affect the game. But come on, it's one puddle out of the whole pitch. What's the point? I think agrees with Brad. He says, I think Porro will end up on the wing. Kulu is not an Ange player. He's not going to fit in. I think Kulu could maybe move into a number 8 and swap with, if we get rid of Lo Celso and Ndombele, him and Madison can play in that 8. And then you have Porro and, I don't know, Brian Hill backing up. I don't know. Like, the thing is, Ange will find out his players. By Barcelona, he'll know who he wants. Yeah, Merv has said he thinks Kulu has lost his game and Porro will hit that role better. Dean has said City is down to 1-0 and they're playing their half team, which is, I mean, it's pre-season, guys. So what's the point? It's been clear all along that Levy doesn't want us to win anything. He shows by his action in the transfer market. Look, he just wants to build his business portfolio. I think everyone can agree with that. So I don't think anyone can actually disagree with you. Looking like the game will go ahead. Yeah, Uncle Merv, they're just all out there on the pitch. I think they're just trying to clear away this one bit of the pitch, and I think we may kick off, but it is half an hour after kickoff already. So they need to hurry up because some of us living in Australia need to go to bed for work tomorrow. What's the point? Ashley Phillips, 3 million, and then it goes to 5 million, and Levy throws a fit. Embarrassing for me, but don't mind charging us the highest price tickets. Look, I understand that that he'd be pissed off if they've raised the price, but they've just done what he would do. They've just literally done what if someone came in and they said he goes 100 mil for Harry Kane, City comes in tomorrow for 100 mil, he go no, 120. That's what Levy is. He'll try and squeeze every little bit out of teams, and he wonders why no one wants to sell or buy sell to us or buy our players. Dean says Mbappe's boyhood club was Madrid. And if he ain't taking that offer, then he won't go anywhere. From what I'm hearing, he's just going to run his contract down and go to Madrid next season. That's from what I've heard. But PSG are pretty pissed off about him. They've offered him like a 10-year contract with worth €1 billion over the 10 years, which is fucking insane. I mean, mate, how about we all fly on a plane? By the time we get there, they will still be clearing up the pitch, and then we'll get some vacuum suckers out and suck up all the water. And then and Brad just said not when PSG offered him $1 billion when he didn't take it. Yeah, I mean we would offer him $1 billion and he still wouldn't take it. I just think he wants out of PSG, but he created that monster for himself, Mbappe. Let's take this down because I don't even know if we're going to go ahead, guys. But anybody got any rumors on other centre backs or other players that we're looking at? I know that there's been some links, obviously, with Anderson and Aguahi. Do you guys think they're a better fit to the squad? I mean, I've always been I'm not an admirer, but I've always appreciated Anderson's style of play. I feel like Anderson is a good defender. I feel like we should have gotten him before. I think he was at Fulham first, and then he went to Crystal Palace. But I felt like we should have gotten him when he was at Sampdoria. He's an old school centre back, tall, strong, can position himself very, very well. Not the quickest, but I think Anderson's a good buy. Guahi's going to be so expensive. He's going to be over 50 mil because he is English. So for me, that's a no-go for me. I mean, Levy's not willing to spend 35 mil on Van der Ven, who's it looks like apparently they had a video of them trying to bounce the ball and the ball's not even bouncing on the pitch. So I think, guys, the game's going to be cancelled. There's a video of Chris Cowlin as a video where they're trying to bounce the ball on the pitch and it's just hitting the water and then just stopping completely. I honestly think this game isn't going ahead. But we'll see what we go. Yeah, if you're hanging around, guys, I appreciate it. I know there's not much going on when there's not much stuff to filter through with. I mean, do you guys? I don't know if you guys have seen all this ads, but have you seen this little room that the Spurs have had on their off season where they're doing these little, to me it reminds me of Big Brother, and they're going into the diary room and having little conversations with the Big Brother. A bunch of players have had it. Madison has had it. Vicario's done it. Skippy's done it. Do you think this is just PR to try and get the fans connected to the players so that we don't sell them? Or, I mean, the likes of Madison and Vicario we bought this season, so there's not much we can do about that. But yeah, what do you think? Not sure. Oh, mate, it's still rating there, and I don't know how long this is going to take. But what's the point? It says Guahi is a batting average defender with average stats. Anderson makes him look okay. I don't think he's batting average. I think he's decent. But honestly, I'd take Anderson over Guahi. I think Anderson, the price, you get more for your bang for your buck. Guahi will be a good defender in the future, and he is left-footed and plays left-sided. But I don't think he's bang average, but I do see where you're coming from. Anderson is a good defender. And what's the point? Is they can't risk it because of injury. They should have thought about playing a game that has rain cover. Foolish from the organisers. I mean, you can see some clear, like not clear sky, but you can see some sun or some sky through the fog. For me, if the ball's not bouncing, they should just cancel the game. They've got the fans are sitting there and pissing down rain. Players are nice inside in their changing room. And honestly, what's that? Honestly, I don't know how they're going to play this game, honestly. But sorry guys, I was just trying to read on Twitter and find out what's going on because it's the easiest way to figure out if the game's going ahead or not. Yellow puts up, what are your thoughts on Adoji? Honestly, I think Adoji's a good. He's a good addition. I think defensively, he's not what we really need. But going forward, he's definitely what Ange needs. Does overlap. He's probably I think he's the high scoring left back in the Serie A last year or the last two seasons. Was playing at Udinese, so Not in the best team in the comp. However, defensively, I don't think he's going to be it. Let's be honest. It's going to be like a Porro. So I'm hoping that Ange can really sort out them defensively. But I mean, I'm excited to see what's going on. I think if you're going on Guehi, I mean, I guess so. Like each to their own. I don't think he's that bad. Maybe the English bias here. I don't think Guehi's that bad, but I would take Anderson over Guehi. That's just my opinion. I've never thought of Guehi as the go-to defender for us. I thought Anderson's way better, and I've said since last year that we should have went for him, a cheeky bid for him in January last season. I mean, it is a risk for injuries, but at the end of the day, you look at some of the old videos of some of the old school players. Tottenham are only playing once a week. Leicester are playing in the Championship. I'm not saying I want our players to get injured, but if they're not going to play, they should quit. But looking at it, they're marking out the lines, so I think we are going to play. The side that had the big puddle, they're just thickening the lines now. So I honestly think we are going to kick off, but it is nearly 45 minutes later. I don't understand. I don't understand why they're not just cancelling it. It's just a waste of time for everyone. Waste of time of your time, my time, and the fans that are there. That's actually, but they're repainting the line, so it probably will be going. It means I'll be going live longer than I actually thought I would. But that's okay, guys. That's okay. That's what we do here. What are you guys' thoughts on the stadium? I mean, it gives a very West Ham-esque, apart from obviously the stands are a lot smaller than West Ham stand, but you know, when you see a running track around the pitch, it makes you think that you're back in Olympic Stadium in London. I'm not a fan of these pitches that they play on a pitch with a running track or an athletics track running around it, because the fans are so far away from the action. You might as well just be sitting at home, honestly. And the fact that there's no cover as well, that is what, you know, what's the point? And saying what's the point? They can't play tiki-taka football in those conditions. Yeah, I mean, you're right. But at the end of the day, the pre-season, I mean, you're right. There's no excuse on how we're playing. We do play that kind of football. So it is going to be horrible for our pre-season. However, it looks like the players are coming out, or they're calling the game because the fans are starting to cheer. Someone has come out. But when you can't play tiki-taka football. Mate, I don't like that stadium. I think it's gross. I think it's horrible. Singapore, the next stadium we're going to play in, the Singapore Stadium, is a nice looking stadium, and it has cover too. And it looks like the players are walking out. I don't know if it's to say hello to the fans or if it's actually going to kick off. Then Spurs that play tiki-taka in conditions, mate. We're going to be cooking this year. Don't you worry. You can stick to your United team, mate. We're going to be cooking this year. What do you do? I mean, you can't handle the elements, but that's down to the the actual organisers. They should be doing something for the fans, giving them tickets to the next game, giving them free merchandise, something like that. I mean, they're probably not. It's Tottenham we're talking about here. It looks like the boys are coming out though. And are we wearing our away jerseys? Are we wearing our home jerseys? I'm not sure. It looks like Leicester are coming out. This could be a warm-up because they haven't warmed up because it's been raining. So we could be another 15. We could be kicking off at 9 guys instead of 8, which is in 20 minutes. That's the case. I might have to go and do like a bloody piss break. Let's see what's going on around the world. There's any updates? Okay, so it has been officially announced 48 seconds ago. Tottenham's friendly against Leicester City has been cancelled due to a waterlogged pitch and adverse weather conditions. The event organisers, based on a recommendation from the match, deemed the pitch unplayable and unsafe. So there we go, guys. The game has been cancelled. Sorry for everyone that wanted to come here and watch the watch along. If we do replay this match, we will be doing a we will do the live watch along for that, guys. Yeah, I mean, might as well. The biggest we got a cheer, and I thought we'll start, and then it looks like the teams are coming out and clapping their fans, which is unfortunate for the fans in Bangkok who came out and sat in this rain to watch that shit. However, you know, as Dean said, for fuck's sake, guys, just switch over to City and watch City get smacked, because I think they're losing at the moment. But look, guys, I'm going to end the stream. There's no point sitting here talking about a game that's not happening. I appreciate everyone that joined. Appreciate everyone that came in and had your say. We will be, if there is a replay or they do something, an extra match, we'll be doing a live watch along for that. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you take it easy, stay safe, and as always, stay Spursy.